The mystery of the gospel. Ephesians 3:1-7. There is a mystery hidden in Elohim from ages past that has now been revealed by the Holy Spirit to his missionaries and prophets. Sha'ul Paul speaks of this mystery in Ephesians 3:1-7, providing clear and specific instruction on the mystery of Messiah. Gentiles are fellow heirs and members of the body, and mutual partakers of the promise in Messiah Yeshua through the gospel. This mystery unfolded in the events described in the book of Acts. It is difficult for many believers in Yeshua to appreciate the impact of this mystery, even though it is foundational to the Gentiles' inclusion in Messiah. However, revelation is directed to the Jew first, and such is true of the entire biblical record: Torah, prophets, writings, gospels, and epistles. Gentiles are included, but they do not replace Israel or the Jews as the people of God. Even the writings of Sha'ul can be misunderstood if one incorrectly reads a text as written only to the Gentiles. Instead, the Bible is written to followers of the God of Israel and his Messiah Yeshua, both Jews and Gentiles bound together in Messiah in anticipation of the restoration of the kingdom of Israel, which includes the blessing of all nations. Many Gentile Christians read the biblical text as directly primarily to them and not to Jews. This is the fundamental error of replacement theology. Matters grow worse when there is an overreaction to replacement theology in the Messianic movement, and Gentile believers elevate themselves to virtually the same level as Jewish believers. The gospel is good news to those to whom the promises are made. Israel. Through the fathers, the mystery of the good news will soon come into its fullness only through the blessings extended to the Gentiles, while not requiring them to become Jews. Sha'ul describes this mystery that Gentiles are fellow heirs with Israel. To be fellow heirs is not to say that the inheritance is identical. A firstborn son often inherited more than his younger brothers. It does mean, however, that Gentiles are included in the inheritance. Sha'ul identifies Jews and Gentiles as fellow members of the body in the Messiah, and non-Jews are included in the people of God. All believers in Yeshua have gifts, functions, and roles that differ yet complement. Equal membership does not imply that we are the same. All believers are fellow partakers of the promise of Messiah Yeshua through the good news, the promise of the Holy Spirit, the forgiveness of sins, and resurrection at the last day. In the end, the Gentile believer in Yeshua will sit down in the kingdom of Abraham, Yitzchak, Isaac, and Jacob, not as a replacement of Israel, but as an extension of God's people called by his name.